The time has come. Finally, I can stop asking the question, where is Yair Rodriguez? Because Yair Rodriguez has finally, thankfully, mercifully left the UFC rankings. And he's taken his boy T-City with him. Peace out, hombres. See you, hopefully in PFL shortly. All I'm saying. And here I was, wondering, just how much inactivity does it take to get kicked from the rankings? And I guess we'll never know. And how we'll never know is because UFC didn't opt themselves to kick Yair nor Ortega from the rankings. But AI's here. Get over it. New AI rankings have compiled the top 15 in each division of the UFC. We are going to have a look at all of it and see if we agree, see if we disagree, how this came about. And of course, Dana White, I mean, look, we're gonna look at the video that Meta posted. We're gonna get there because there's a couple of funny mistakes, but I know that people don't like AI. But see, really, in this particular circumstance, it's not all terrible. I'm just happy that we're going to get into what the AI is going to look at, but I need to mention this before we even get started. It's rewarding activity, and it's rewarding how people win fights. I am so glad about that. We now just need to hope that it actually works, because there's already been major blunders and it's like day one. So X is having a field day with all the mistakes. We're going to have some laughs here as well, hopefully, because this is a fun video. I feel like recently I've been posting some negativity, particularly towards a certain official. And again, Mark Goddard just skating by, having been asked no questions about the Ilya Gaethje 4th round. Nothing. Okay. But look, let's get into this. Dana White speaking to a guy at Meta, I suppose it's on Meta's Instagram, but I found this clip on Twitter, so I've cut it up. We're going to take it in two parts. We're going to look at the first piece, we're going to look at the second bit. We are then going to look at the old rankings, or what they call media rankings, and the AI rankings. We're going to contrast, we're going to compare, we're going to see which one we like more. Before we get there though, Pride 10, Return of the Warriors, that retro review will be out tomorrow. We have Sakuraba versus another Gracie in the main event. He just beat Hoyce. He's now taking on Henzo. Ken Shamrock in his second fight, returning to MMA in the year 2000. We have Igor Vovchanchyn. We have the Smashing Machine, Mark Kerr, Vanderlei Silva, Vitor Belfort, Gary Goodridge as well. It's all going off at Pride 10, Return of the Warriors. So join me tomorrow for that retro review, and hopefully by the end of the week, UFC 27 will also be out. So subscribe to the channel, hit the notify bell. We'll have other videos peppered in there, probably more modern day content. So if you're into all of that, hit like, hit subscribe, notify bell, all the good stuff you already know. So let's hear from Dana White as he discusses the need for these AI rankings. Take it away, Dana.
I can't handle incompetence. I can't take it anymore. And I can't let people that I don't believe know what the they're talking about deal with the rankings anymore. I just can't do it. I have to figure out a solution.
So can you explain what was going on in your head in that press conference and how the rankings were flawed?
Well, I think the old ranking system, though, is a combination of laziness, bias, no knowledge of the actual sport. We can definitely make it better.
Okay. Laziness, bias, no knowledge of the sport. Here's who AI decided the champions were. Okay? Now, the irony of deciding that the old way of ranking was lazy and then just getting AI to do it for you is hilarious to me. I mean, a combination of laziness and no knowledge of the sport. AI is trying to change who the champions are. What kind of knowledge is that? But also laziness. saying that the people making the rankings are dead lazy, we're just going to get AI to do it instead. Really? Now, the bias part, I'll agree with that, because, I mean, it's a fucking algorithm. But then again, you can't really agree with it all the way, because there's inherent bias in ranking. Because there's criteria involved in this AI model. We're going to get to what's in it, but it's looking at bias towards activity, bias towards finishes. How was the person finished? Are knockouts going to rank higher than subs? Are they going to rank higher than decisions? These are all different biases. So you're not actually eliminating the bias. You're just changing what the criteria is actually for. So now that we've just picked that apart, here's Dana again. And also the guys working tech over at Meta. Here we go.
Better.
And who are the people that were going to fix it?
That would be the engineering team here at Meta. Our task, build a new ranking system that's determined by data from fights, not opinions. One that's objective and fair. Social media followers, how famous you are, none of that factors in. I'll let Offie tell you how it works.
The algorithm doesn't just factor in wins, it's how you win. Dominant finishes are rewarded more than split decisions. Tournament quality matters too. And fighters who don't compete drop in rankings over time. It combines statistical modeling and machine learning to process real fight data, with rankings updating after every UFC event.
Ranking is inherently complex. No single approach captures everything. But this one is objective, consistent, and built entirely on what happens inside the octagon. How's that sound, Dana?
Sounds great. I mean, really all I care about is that the rankings are fair, they're as close to perfect as possible, and I'm ready to go live.
Well, it is live.
Oh, well, beautiful. Thank you.
And so all we care about is the rankings are fair and as close to perfect as possible. Very valid statement, but tell me what part of this is fair, that champions have now changed without actually having a fight take place for them to lose their belt. Okay, obviously I'm kidding on, they're going to change that. But it's not a good look for the launch of your new AI ranker that Charles Oliveira is now the lightweight champion, is it? Or that Sergey Spivac is ranked twice at number 9 because they spelt his name differently. What is happening? So let's just look at the positives here to start. I like that they're ranking based on activity. I like that ranking based on dominant finishes also is a good thing, I think. And where your opponent's ranked actually now matters. So, you know, number 3 rank crushing number 11 isn't really going to do much for number 3. I appreciate that. These are all good things, in my opinion. What's not good, though, is the comments of the video. Can people give Meta a break just for 1 second? I've seen people saying here, why is the whole tech team Indian? How do you know these guys are Indian? And why would it be a problem if they are? You know, I just scrolled through the top couple of comments and it was all people talking about how the tech team's Indian. But let's look at these rankings, okay? I have the champion on the left side of the screen, and on the right side of the screen we have a black column, we have a white column. In the black column is the quote-unquote media rankings. These are the old rankings. They are what they were a couple of days ago. And on the right-hand side in the white, that is the new rankings, the AI rankings. I got this post off of Reddit. I cannot remember who made it, but if you type up into the Google machine UFC AI rankings Reddit, it will probably be the first one that comes up. So shout out to you, whoever you are. Thank you very much for the graphic. So let's get into flyweight, and we don't need to go top to bottom on every division, but I have to say, top 4, I actually agree with. Solid, no changes whatsoever. That's nice. But we get to number 5 and Lona Kavanagh's there. Bro, this guy just beat Brandon Moreno. Was he not unranked before that? Was he not ranked 15? He get knocked out by Charles Johnson. He gets thrown in last minute to fight Brandon Moreno in Mexico. He wins, and now he's ranked number 5. I thought 6 was egregious, but he just got punted up to number 5. Good for Lona Kavanagh, but how has this happened? Anyway, the Gooch just lost to Manel Cap. He's moved down to number 6. And look, Aswell Mabayev, like, you know, the rest of the rankings, Suma Dwerge, Borjas, Raposo went from being not ranked to 12, 11, and 10. And Steve Erceg, Bedtime MMA, down 3 spots to 13. It's interesting how they're ranking this because Steve Erceg fought recently, you know what I mean, and got a pretty decent win. It was 29-28 though, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, I'm not really that mad at these rankings. See, so long as the top mix at flyweight stays the same. Like, that top 6 looks pretty good to me. I don't really care about where they are ranked. I know we just spoke about Lona Kavanagh, but look, he's entertaining to watch, so I don't really care what that top 6 looks like, so long as Pantoja's number 1, Cap's number 2. You can mix up Taira, Royval, Kavanagh, Horiguchi, whatever, which way you want. So long as they all fight each other, I don't really care. But moving on to bantamweight, we have a whole lot of movement in here. Bryce Mitchell, I'm seeing from unranked to number 14. That's pretty good. Looking forward to seeing Bryce Mitchell next. I'm not Bryce Mitchell's one of these guys. Okay, when you listen to him, you don't really agree with everything that he says, but he's a personality. He's somebody who Bryce Mitchell's fighting. Okay, I'll watch Bryce Mitchell because what's he gonna say after it? You know, so I don't mind Bryce Mitchell being ranked. Entertaining enough in terms of his out of the octagon activity. But he's been winning. He's been winning his last few fights. So, okay, Bryce Mitchell's ranked top 15. I don't hate it. Charles Jourdain and Montel Jackson in there. I don't really care. But then we get to Eamon Zahabi, number 12. You lose to Sean O'Malley and get punted down 6 spots. That's rough. Davison Figueiredo outside of the top 10. Agreed. But what's actually interesting is looking at the black column. Marlon Vera, gone, good. Peyton Talbot, gone, good. Vinicius Oliveira just beat his opponent, fucking, who was it? Andre Philly, with back of the head shots. Booted from the rankings. Good stuff. Raul Rosas Jr., booted from the rankings. This is terrific news. Literally all 4 of them, gone. Terrific. Love it. I actually really like this new AI model. See, now that I've seen bantamweight, very interested to see what this thing is going to come up with. Looking further up the rankings, Barcelos number 8. You know, a lot of decisions in there. Not too excited about that. Song Yudong down to number 6 and has been leapfrogged by Mario Batista, who's taking on Corey Sandhagen soon. You know, I mean, Batista's fine. He's not really, but he had a good performance last time out. Again, recency bias. I don't know what's really happening. We're going to need to wait and see and figure out the algorithm to see what it's actually targeted towards, because they can tell us about, you know, fights happening recently and domination or dominant finishes ranking higher above decisions or whatever. Sean O'Malley knocks out Eamon Zahabi and gets moved down a spot. So, but look, the top 3, see, so long as that stays the same, I'm not really that bothered. It's kind of like how I feel at flyweight. See, so long as like that top mix of like decent fighters, entertaining enough to watch. Umar and Merab, I mean, we're scraping bottom of the barrel in terms of entertaining to watch. But when they fought each other, that fight was decent. I thought it was okay. So long as these guys fight each other, I'm actually interested to see O'Malley versus Umar. I am not interested in O'Malley versus Merab, but I would watch Yan versus Umar. I would watch O'Malley versus Umar, or O'Malley versus Yan again. So I'm not too bothered so long as that top mix stays the same. But now we're going to move on to featherweight. And, oh, look at that. Yair Rodriguez, gone. Brian Ortega, gone. David Onama, gone. Josh Emmett, finally gone. And who have we replaced them with? Delgado, Brito, Melquizel Costa's moved up a few spots here, but Nathaniel Wood and Pat Sabatini, ranked number 7. I just had to let that sit there for a minute. Pat Sabatini, number 7. He has to be the biggest winner out of these AI rankings. He has to be. Arnold Allen moving above Gene Silva. And similar to flyweight, the rest stays relatively or exactly the same. Movzar number 1, Diego Lopez number 2, who's now said that he is moving up to 155. So we'll see what opponents may be waiting for him. But there's a contentious decision in here where Arnold Allen has now leapfrogged Gene Silva. Gene Silva in between Arnold Allen and Pat Sabatini. Now, Gene Silva not long ago jumped on Arnold Allen's back and used it as like it was a surfboard. So I don't know how AI's come up with that. This is what I mean. Like, Gene Silva beat Arnold Allen recently enough, but Arnold Allen's fought more recently and beat Melquizel Acosta. How's he moved up 2 spots above someone that he just beat, or that just beat him, sorry. Gene Silva just beat Arnold Allen. How's Arnold Allen above Gene Silva now? This doesn't make any sense. But Aljo's still 4, Murphy's still 3, Lopez is 2 for the meantime. He's about to move up to 55. And Movzar Evloev, of course, the number 1 contender. He will soon be fighting Alexander Volkanovski. We can all hope, because they put this fight off long enough. And what's going to happen? Volk beats Evloev. Is he going to move up? Does he see Justin Gaethje as the champion and think, you know what? Yeah, I can take him. I can become double champion to end my career. And then retire. Sail off into the sunset. I say sail off into the sunset. How about ride off into the sunset with your own afternoon TV cooking show? Cooking with Volk on Australian TV. How about that? That sounds pretty good. But let's move on to lightweight. Justin Gaethje, of course, the champion, just beating Ilia Topuria. Rankings the same in the top 5. I don't disagree. I think that's pretty good. Number 6, Matej Gamrot moves up 2 spots. And Paddy Pimblett moves down 3. Interesting. It's almost as though Paddy Pimblett's only beat Tony Ferguson and Michael Chandler. Like, that's insane. Like, he floated up. We all know, we said at the time, at the start of the year, he floated up the rankings. You know, he got artificially boosted up there to try and justify his interim title fight with Justin Gaethje. He was never deserving of the number 6 spot, or whatever it was he made it to when he fought Gaethje. Was he number 5? And all he'd beaten was Bobby Green, Tony Ferguson, on the slide, by the way, at the end of the slide, and then Michael Chandler. And we just seen Chandler's performance against Hoofy. Similar story to Lorna Kavanagh, to be honest, where you come in and you beat nobody, you then get knocked out by Charles Johnson, you then beat Brandon Moreno on short notice, all of a sudden you're ranked number 6. How did that happen? And now he's ranked number 5 from meta rankings. How is this even possible? But we're focusing on lightweight. Hoofy down 3 spots while Quillen Salkeld. I can never get that name right. Is that right? Salkeld? He's up to number 8. Bro, he beat fucking BB Dariush with no chin. And I like Quillen. I see the vision, right? I see... Can you still call him a future prospect? He's already kind of proven himself. Baby was a big name at lightweight for a long time, and he chinned him like it was nothing. But is that, rank number 8? Then again, Mauricio Hoofy, he's top 10. All he's really done is beat Michael Chandler as well. He lost to BSD, but Paddy Pimblett's probably about to lose to BSD. Dan Hooker out of the top 10, agreed. Sorry, agreed. And then underneath that, Manuel Torres up to, Tom Nolan up to. I thought he was 15, but apparently he was 14. Renato Moicano, top 7. I mean, he just beat Chris Duncan. Now he's up 3 spots to number 7. But this is the thing. He's beat rank 5 BSD, which is a better win than the guys underneath him have. Quillen, Paddy, these guys, like, beating BSD is better than anything those guys have done. He then lost to Islam Makhachev on short notice, literal days' notice. Everyone loses to Islam Makhachev, no big deal. Losing to BB Dariush, though, is like a crime. 2025 BB Dariush. But a larger point, it sort of shows you, see these divisions, bantamweight was kind of like this, where a lot of name value and hype was carrying people's positions in the rankings because you see these massive shifts in numbers. Flyweight, flyweight kind of had a lot of movement at the bottom, but bantamweight, 4 guys in the top 15 just getting cleared out, 4 guys at featherweight getting cleared out, one was ranked number 4, like, at lightweight, Fiziev getting cleared out. Fiziev's good, but who's he beat? You know, it's one of these things, but I think I would take Fiziev over some of these guys that just get ranked now. Beneil Dariush has gone, you know what, good. Beneil Dariush needs to retire. Sorry, brother, but it's time. I don't want to see you just take unnecessary... See, when I say retire, I'm not saying that to be a dick. I don't want you to get brain damage. And it's like, it gets to the point where, like, quick knockouts are entertaining. See, when it's repeated quick knockouts over the same guy, it becomes sad really quickly. So please hang it up, baby. But that is lightweight. Let's move on to welterweight. And now you're starting to see just how stacked welterweight is. And Carlos Prates, number 1. Oh my God, my prayers have been answered. Oh, this is big. Carlos Prates almost certainly getting the next title shot after Islam versus Ian Gary. We'll need to see who wins. I would guess Islam Makhachev, but given this year, you cannot be sure who's going to win these big fights because we've seen so many upsets. But this is how stacked welterweight is, that there's no massive shifts. Okay, it's up 1, down 1. Some guys are staying the same. JDM, Morales, I agree with that. Sean Brady, top 5. Bonfirm, number 6. He just beat Bilal. Bilal's still somehow number 7. Leon Edwards still number 8. Joaquin Buckley's moved up 1 and Usman's down. Usman's going to middleweight though, so he will be removed from there. Mike Mallet, number 11, probably going to become number 10. Good for him. He's a big winner here. MVP, I never want to see again. Sorry, boring as fuck. You can't even call it aura farming because it's... People just get pissed off and boo when he fights because it's so bad. Like, genuine. How old's MVP? He can retire too for different reasons than BB, because if he's not going to fight anybody who's actually good, that's going to fucking knock him the fuck out, then I don't want to see him anymore. Sorry. Just being honest. We then move on to middleweight. In fact, not before we just say... Carlos Prates, look, he's my favourite guy in the welterweight division right now. He shouldn't be above Ian Gary. Ian Gary literally just got announced to fight Islam Makhachev, and then these rankings drop saying that, well, see, really, it should be Carlos Prates, when it shouldn't be. Okay, it should be Ian Gary. He is getting that fight. But see, when we're saying these mistakes already, like, Ian Gary's beaten Carlos Prates. How's Prates now ranked above him? That loss from Prates to Ian Gary was recent enough that it should still remember that Ian Gary should be ranked higher than Carlos Prates, because they just announced Ian Gary getting the title shot. So this is another own goal where you announce the title fight, drop new rankings, and this AI rankings that you're backing to be, what did Dana White say? What, not lazy, not biased, completely reliable, whatever, is now telling you that the title fight you just made is actually wrong and it should be Prates. And I'm not saying, that's not my argument. I think it should be Ian Gary. But it's not a great look. But moving on to middleweight, and look at number 12. UFC's newest up-and-coming kickboxer, our boy Bo Nickel, made it to number 12, beating Kyle Dawkins. Great move. Great move. Let's just take a look at who's been kicked first. Robert Whittaker, he's moving up to light heavyweight anyway. That's completely fine. Roman Dolidze, also kicked from the rankings. I'm not complaining, to be honest. I don't really care that much. Paulo Costa is still somehow in middleweight rankings, even though he has moved up to light heavyweight. Reiner de Ridder, down 7. I think he's moving as well to light heavyweight, isn't he? Jesus Christ, middleweight is getting cleared out. But CLD, number 11, Cannonier, top 10 still somehow after all this time. Gregory Rodriguez up to top 10. Israel Adesanya, number 8. Fluffy Hernandez down to 7. Baralho down to 6. Joe Pyfer gets 1 win over Adesanya and now all of a sudden he's top 5. Okay. But look, the top mix still stays the same. Brendan Allen, Imavov, Duplessis and Chimaev. Kamaru Usman will probably get thrown in here, seen as like Paulo Costa is leaving, Reiner de Ridder is leaving. So Kamaru Usman, win, lose or draw, will probably get thrown in these middleweight rankings somewhere. At least on the media side. Maybe not the AI side, but at least for the media he will. But nothing really too much to comment on here, to be honest. Nothing majorly offensive. The fact that Joe Pyfer's top 5 could probably be questioned over Fluffy and Baralho, but is it that major to complain about it? It is what it is. Light heavyweight, let's see it. So Nikita Krylov and Alexander Rakic have been booted, and in their place, Dustin Jacoby and Navajo Sterling, who by the way was champion for a brief moment. But let's look, Alex Pereira still ranked number 1. Okay, I say still ranked number 1. He's moved up 1 spot. I mean, he is a heavyweight fighter, and I think he's going to stay at heavyweight. I hope. I still think there's a path to the belt. Call me delusional, cope, whatever. Magomed, number 2, he's taking on Khalil Roundtree, which should be a win for him, but Khalil slips down out of the top 5, and Jamal Hill overtakes Khalil Roundtree. Meanwhile, Khalil Roundtree has a win over Jamal Hill recently. Interesting move. Paulo Costa has 1 fight at light heavyweight and is top 4. I'm guessing he's going to be in the sort of interim title picture. Yuri Prohaska stays at number 3. Okay, fair enough. These positions will probably shift when Alex Pereira moves up to heavyweight. Dominic Reyes, number 7. Bro, Dominic Reyes fucking sucks ass, man. Oh my god. Right. The top of these, see these heavyweights, these light heavyweights, these actual heavyweights. The division is kind of like top heavy, where you look at it and go, okay, he isn't bad and he's not bad either. I like Yuri Prohaska. Paulo Costa is at least more agile than a lot of these other guys. And then you start looking down the rankings and it's like, oh my god, this is so bad. Jan Blachowicz down 11 spots to number 15. What? And I get it, there's a few draws in there and a couple losses. His recent record hasn't looked too great, but there is not... I don't know if there's a fighter more underrated than Jan Blachowicz. And see, if you put Jan Blachowicz up against any of these guys in his vicinity, he'll beat them. So I don't know. That's the thing. AI, is it... I feel as though it's just looking at Blachowicz's recent results and not actually putting respect on the name. You know what I mean? I think that rank number 4 for him was probably a little too high, maybe. But number 15 is egregious. So I do not agree with that. But other guys, I mean... I was going to say up 1, up 2, but it's not. Paulo Costa had 1 fight. He's just thrown in here at number 4. I don't hate it, though. I'd rather watch Paulo Costa than fucking Reyes and Ozdemir and Murzakanov, Guskov, Jacoby, Sterling, Manyfield, Walker, Blachowicz even. So, I mean, I don't really give a shit. But let's move on to heavyweight, where, we've had a few people have been booted. Tyrell Fortune, Ante D'Elia, Derek Lewis, good, and Marcin Tybura. They have been replaced by unranked Alex Pereira, Vitor Petrino, Mario Pinto, and Ryan Spann. Ryan Spann, top 15. Mick Parkin, as a result, moves up 1. Brando Pericic up 2. Walter Walker up 2 as well. Blades down 1, overtaken by Kunyev. Okay, Spivac. This guy who made the graphics been nice and just ranked them once. Really, he was ranked twice. Waldo Cortez Acosta out of the top 5. Prayers have been answered. Josh Hokett, number 5. And number 4, Alex Pereira. I think if it was up to me, I would want that to be the next fight. But it would just leave Volkov to face Pavlovich again. And I don't know if they want to run that rematch. And it's one of those ones, you run Pereira versus Hokett, and sure, there's hype. But you get one match, right? You get one fight. Whereas if you split these two guys up, both of them have hype. Both, like, people are going to care about the Hokett fight, and people are going to care about the Pereira fight, even if guys don't care about Pavlovich or Volkov. But if they're in there with either Hokett, so Hokett and Pavlovich, or Pereira and Volkov, you now have 2 fights that people care about. I could see UFC doing that just to get, an extra interesting matchup, and then just completely avoid the hype fight that everybody wants to see and just try and delay it, hoping that both guys win, and then they can make I'm hesitant to say super fight, but we'll just say the fight that people want to see, Hokett and Pereira. But that's top 5, and to be honest, I kind of like top 5 at heavyweight, and Tom Aspinall the champion. Fuck Cyril Gane. But I say he's deserving to be there, and he is, considering the wins, but he fucking cheats against everybody. Rosenstruck, Volkov, Tai Tuivasa, JDS, Derek Lewis, Spivac, Jones, Aspinall, Pereira, the list goes on. And he's number 1 ranked interim champion, about to have his 6th title fight. Unbelievable. But I don't even really care about the top 5 positioning, because the top 5 guys, again, look similar to flyweight, where see, so long as these guys are in that mix, I don't really care, because everybody's going to have to fight each other anyway, and then the rankings will just sort themselves out. The actual story of this top 15 is how Ryan Spann can lose to Anthony Smith twice and be ranked again at any division at any point ever again. So Anthony Smith, again, master of the armadillo technique, just curls up in a ball and gives up. He beat Ryan Spann twice at light heavyweight, but because Ryan Spann then moved up to heavyweight, lost to Waldo Cortez Acosta, then beat fucking Brzezinski and Buchecha, he's now ranked 15. So, who else is the competition, really? At lower rank heavyweight, again, who gives a shit? See, so long as the top mix is protected and there's not any egregious rankings in there, then I'm all good. So that's it. That is the AI Meta rankings. Here are some of the big winners according to championship rounds. And here are some of the biggest losers as well, closely following that. I had to just outsource this material, so championship rounds has done it for me. Thank you, God bless them. This will just make up for them saying that Justin Gaethje dropped Ilia Topuria in the 3rd round, which just did not happen. Thank you to them for that. But you can read, I hope, or you can just pause the screen. So there you go. There are the biggest winners. There are the biggest losers. Thank you very much for watching this video. Hit like, hit subscribe, hit the notify bell to be reminded when content drops on the channel. And I'll see you all really soon.